Anyway, before we start, we need to understand three basic things which are in this course curriculum, and it's all about software testing. And in software testing, we need to ask ourselves, what actually is software testing? Why do we need to do the software testing? And how can we do it? So those are three questions we need to ask ourselves before talking about what is software testing. The first thing is going to be is what is what is it actually? Why that particular thing is important? And another thing is how we can do that actual thing, which is called software testing. So in your own description, we will start with the first one, which is what is software testing itself? What is software testing? Let's forget about software. Let's talk about testing itself. What is testing? What is actually testing? What is testing? Why do we have to do this testing? What is this all about?
Is it
Why do
because
you have to test?
so it won't have viruses and stuff?
That's why I have to do the testing, because you're talking about defects. That's why you're talking about what is testing. Testing. Why do you have to test? What is testing itself? So, like the reason I want to test is the actual definition. What is not the actual definition in per se, but what is it? What is software testing? Before we start with what is software testing, we want to understand what is testing. Why do you need to test? What is testing itself? In your own definition, what is testing? Actually, let's talk about the
Are you
software.
making sure something works?
Yeah, that's why you have to test it. Yeah, you have to test it. It's not, you see, testing itself is not actually a private thing, organization thing. It's a general thing. It's a government authorized that anything software going to the market, like any product, be it medical devices, laptop, be it any accessories, all of us use before coming to the market. There are certain kinds of type of testing which are done in each and every product. It's very necessary. It's not a government thing. Government make it a mandatory that every organization have to test any software that is going to the market. Your iPhone 16, iPhone 12 Pro Max, iPhone 14, 12, before they go into the market, before Thanksgiving. That's why actually most of these new phones have to be released in the market. Before that, you have to do testing of all those things because you have to make sure that it's defect free. So, or it's going to be kind of harmful to the environment, to the users, to the customers. So testing have to go in place. So testing is a general thing. So you might have seen some product in the market. They say this is certified, ISO certified. This is certified. This product is FDA approved, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So is to make sure that whatever that product is going to meet its requirement specification, they have to go through its particular specification that's passed through a particular verification and requirement before it's certified to be used, FDA approved. Like all those are paste, toothpaste, and all those medical devices, everything, they have to be approved by a particular organization that have to certify this particular product before it goes to the market. So testing is what is that particular testing? Then the software test itself. So testing is to make sure that whatever you are creating is of a good quality. Software testing is the process to make sure product is of a good quality. That's what software testing is. And number second point is software testing is a continuous process. Okay, so it's a practice that makes sure that functions are working fine. It's a process to make sure that products are great. So it's an idea to enhance user experience. That's what software testing is. And software testing is a part of SDLC that gives confidence on the product made. So these are actual definition. This is not the actual definition per se, but I want to tell you the actual definition of what software testing is. But if you are saying software testing, you can see that there are different definitions from different people. People can say software testing is a process to make sure products are great, is good for the market. Okay, so people can tell you that okay, so software testing is a practice that makes sure functions are working fine, like your phones after going to different defects is working fine. It's passing through the software is working fine, so it's great. Is part of the definition. You can say software testing is. And number third point here, he said that is an idea to enhance user experience. So if you said in the first one, you say it is a process to make sure product is good or product is working fine. This is not actually a definition of what is software you can get in a book. This is not actually a definition of software testing. And also it's a practice to make sure functions are working fine. Any software you are making is supposed to perform some certain functions, all right? Like suppose I'm creating something like similar to Facebook applications. Let me take it out for instance, like a social media application. You said a practice that makes sure functions are working fine. Let's take an example for that of social media application, your Gmail, I mean your Facebook application, your Twitter, and whatever. Those are applications. So suppose we are creating something similar to Facebook application. Facebook application has some functions, right? Like login functions. You can log into your username and password. That's when we talk about the login functions. Your Facebook application, you can see we have something like a search web functions, right? You can search the web functions. You can add friends functions on your Facebook application, right on your wall functions. Those are all functionalities on your Facebook application. So these are all functions. So we can also say software testing is back-based testing. That means makes all these functions are working fine to the end users. Okay, so another definition of functional testing is that it's an idea to enhance user experience. What do I mean by that? What comes to your mind if I say it's an idea to enhance the user experience? Do you have any idea? So you should have any idea when I said is what is software testing is an idea to enhance user experience. okay, let's emphasize on this idea. When we create a software, there are certain plans for it. So we are going to create this, which should do some certain functionalities. Suppose we take instance from the Facebook, there are search search functionality present there. So if I am searching using the search engine, we can see we have some autocorrect when you are typing something on there, on your maybe your Gmail or search engine. You can see some autocorrect. I want to type California, I put California. So the autocorrect will correct you. So all those are autocorrect on some of these applications, even your Word documents. When you type in the wrong spellings, you see some autocorrect to correct your wrong spellings. So the autocorrect is an idea which software testing team or software testing people generate those kind of idea by creating any software. So it is not like everything is defined in the document and the software is built on that. But what software you see as end product is a continuation of development team, business team, and most importantly, the testing team. So a testing team makes sure the product is of a good, of a quality to the end users. So as a software tester, which is going to be your job description as a software tester, your own aim is to make sure that the end users are having the very good user experience. All right, hope I'm getting myself clear. So that's why I say it's an idea to enhance user experience. That's what software testing is. So it's an idea to enhance the user experience. And again, what is software testing? Is a part of SDLC that gives confidence on the product made. In the course of your course of study, I'm going to explain to you what SDLC is. It says it's a part of SDLC that gives confidence on the product that is going into the market. We discussed about this in the course of time, what SDLC is, right? So just have in back of your mind that software testing is a part of SDLC that gives confidence on the product made. So all these are correct, but they are not the actual definition defined by what we call the ISTQB, a certification board that define that mediates when it comes to software, that's minutes on software going into the market in the world. So what ISTQB is, what ISTQB certification said about software testing, they give the actual definition. This is the software board that give the actual definition of what software testing is. They said from the actual definition of software testing, from the ISTQB, which is the software board, they give the actual definition of what software testing is. They said software testing is a process to evaluate the functionality of a software application with an intent to find whether the developed software meets the specified requirements or not, and to identify the defects. You just said something about defects. Okay, that's what I have to test. To identify the defects, to ensure that the product is defect-free in order to produce the quality product. So this is actual definition of what software testing is defined by ISTQB, the testing board that define the software testing. Is a process to evaluate the functionality of a software application with an intent to find whether the developed software met the specified requirement or not, and to identify the defect to ensure that the product is defect-free in order to produce the quality product. So that's what software testing is. So there might be keywords here which we which we find comfortable right now, which you may not find comfortable right now, that is completely fine. But three of these things I like to discuss here is something like functionality. I already told you that how it works. When something is not functional, it's not functional. It's a functionality when the application is functional. So it's functionalities. So something like functionality, I already told you that, and now it works. So specific requirements, the threats, these are keywords. You see the specific requirements, these specific requirements, the threats, these are keywords that you will learn in the course of the training. So what are defects? If someone asks you, what do you understand by defects? We said from the actual definition of software testing, they said it's a specified requirement or not, and to identify the defects. So what are defects? What do you understand by defects?
Yeah, one more time.
What are defects? When you say something defects, what are defects?
You saying
When,
defects or like?
why are you on the screen? Defects. From the actual definition of software testing, I told you that some of these words, some of these keywords, you might find it, you might not understand what it is, but you're going to understand it more in the course of your study. But something like functionality, I know you know what functionality is all about. But when it comes to defect, do you understand the word defect? What does it mean in the English term? Defect, when it says something is defects.
To ensure, like to
Yeah,
ensure
like,
the product is defect free in order to produce the quality product.
yeah, so this word defect, what does it sound to you? What we say something is defect? There's a defect in the system, there's a defect in an application.
Like it's a
Okay, what that means that what are specified requirements, how it works, and what are defects. Now, what is defect? Defect is like if something is not working fine, like something like your maybe something like your iPhone, you're not able to send, you need to pair your Bluetooth with any application. That means it's defect, that is defect in the system. Or your audio is not working fine, it's a defect. You're able to share screen, it's defect in any application. Like your Facebook now, I mean your WhatsApp, you can able to share screen. Once you're able to share screen, the share screen icon is not able to, it's not working, it's not functioning. So it's defect. So that's what defect is. So as in course of this training, you understand how to use these terminologies, what are defects, what are bugs in the system, what are errors and all those stuff. So as a tester, you get to know about all these things. So defect is not only related to code, okay? It can also be related to the requirement also. Like what I mean by requirement also is that in the software industry, like your job description right now, we have those we call the BAs, the business analysts. They bring this requirement to the tech team. And you have to be the one to go through those requirements. You sit to them, you sit one-on-one with the meeting with them, have a meeting with them, and see what kind of software they want to develop. So defects might not actually be from actual testing, where you guys will be testing this application, because you didn't catch those defects in those requirements. It can be from those the documentation that was given to you from the business people. Did they actually specify the application that you guys have to build? And you guys didn't catch the defect in the requirement documentation, and you start building those applications on based on those documentation that was given to you. So defect can come from those requirements. So defect can come with errors in the document as well in what the developers are developing. And it can come from wrong requirement gathering when they gather those requirements from the business people. Defect can come from that. Whatever the requirement gathering from the business team, so we have different criteria for having bugs or defect in the system. I hope I make myself clear. Do you have any question?
No, you make yourself clear.
All right. So that is what software testing is. From there, we say, well, what is software testing? It's a process to make sure product is great. It's a practice that makes sure functions are working fine. It's an idea to enhance user experience. I told you about what to enhance user experience is, like your Google, your Gmail, your words, documents, and all those stuff like that. When you're typing a particular wrong spellings, you can see something like an autocorrect, so you can quickly correct yourself. Instead of typing Talicia, you spell Tilicia or something like that. So it's going to correct you. You can, so those software, those autocorrect application in that particular word application you're using is done by these testing people. They insert those things in there because they knew that users can make mistakes. So that's why I say software testing is an idea to enhance the user experience. That's what it is. So it's a part of SDLC, as I said. SDLC is going to explain to you in the course of your training what SDLC is. SDLC is the software development life cycle. So that's why I said the part of SDLC that gives confidence on the product maybe because it is a face. So you understand what SDLC is in the course of your training. So that's why I say software testing is a part of SDLC that gives confidence on the product made. So actual definition, which ISTQB, what do you mean by ISTQB? ISTQB is a software organization that supersedes ISTQB. Can you Google it on your phone and
Yes.
see what ISTQB is? Can you tell me what there is? What is ISTQB?
It's IST Web.
You can see it on the screen.
Is that an I?
As just see your screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. Yeah, ISTQB.
Oh, that's a Q. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, what I'm looking at it say ISTQB is the Lending Global Certification Scheme in the field of software testing.
Mm-hmm. So what's the full meaning?
So it's recognized as the de facto language in the field of software testing and connects professionals worldwide. Hold
Yeah,
on.
what's the full meaning of ISTQB? What does the I stands for? What does the S stands for?
Hold on, let me find it. International software testing qualifications.
Yeah, board. Yeah, that's what ISTQB. So that's the one that supersedes all software. So it's a certification you can write, but it's not necessary though. So this is the board that supersedes all software applications. So what the actual definition they said right here about what software testing is. From here, this is not what you can find in the book. Okay. But here, the actual definition of software testing from these people called the ISTQB, what they define software testing is. They say software testing is a process to evaluate the functionality of a software application with an intent to find whether the developed software meets the specified requirements. That's why I see some software, maybe before you go to market, they say this is IST, FDA approved, and all the ISO certified, and all this. So they said, so software met the specified requirements or not, and to identify the defects. You see all these terminologies, you're going to know much about them in course of the training. Defect, errors, bugs, and all those stuff. So that's going to be your job description as a software tester. You have to find defect in most applications. That's where a software tester. All right. So that's going to be your job description. When a software is being developed, you have to test it to make sure it's certified, to make sure it is okay to go into the market. You own the power, you own the you own the power to hold the product before it goes to the market. If it's not where there's defect in the system, you will not release it. Okay, you will not sign off. That's why most of your application, like a Gmail, you see sign off boxes, sign off in your application. That means that sign off is being done by the software analyst, QA analyst, software tester. They're able to go through those applications that the inbox is working fine, draft is working fine, compose is working fine. All those are all they have all tested those applications. Then the Gmail application, they check everything and they do what they provide the sign off button. Yes, it's okay. So software met the specified requirement and not, and to identify these defects to ensure that the product is defect free in order to produce a quality product. The iPhone 16 Pro Max, however, is defect free. That's why you, as a QA software tester, be able to sign it off to go into the market. All right. So that's what software testing is. I hope I make myself clear now.
Yeah, you're making it yourself clear.
All right. So in the course of training, I told you we're going to talk about what is software testing. I will have done with what software testing is, you understand what is software testing. And then we will now go to why software testing. Why are we doing this? Why is software testing? Why software testing is important? Why do you have to do this software testing? The one point is that because developers and business analysts are humans. I told you about the business analysts. They are the people that gather those requirements. The role of a business analyst, they go and gather those requirements for their client. Maybe their client is Bank of America. And the Bank of America said, we don't want Talisha to start coming to the bank to deposit his check. We want Talisha to sit at home and take a snapshot of his paycheck, and automatically it's accredited into his account. So those are software. So those business analysts, they gather all those things. Apple, they gather requirement for Apple's, Toyota, Microsoft, and all those things. They are business analysts. Okay. So the end client told them they want this iPhone 12 Pro Max, iPhone 16 Pro Max to go into the market, want these features to be there, the functionalities to be there. That they want it to be have the facial recognitions now on this phone. So those gather those requirements and they take it to the tech people. So now, why are we doing this software testing? We know what is software testing, right? So why are we doing that software testing? Because business analysts and developers are humans. Why is it so? What does that mean by these words? Because of business analysts and developers are humans. Can you tell me that? Do you have any idea why we are doing software testing? Because of these developers and business analysts that gather those requirements are humans. What does it mean?
Hello, can I say something on this, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. So from why because developers and business analysts are humans, and why software testing is required is because humans involved in the combinations or the union as a team working on a product. There is high tendency of getting a more valued or a better product, because if developers are coding, they are bound to make mistakes, right? So
exactly, that's it.
Yes. So the
That's
reason
it,
for
because
the stuff.
Go ahead.
Okay, the reason for the software testers is because of developers are bound to make mistakes. There can be bugs in They are cold. So humans can go through and analyze those stuff to give a proper product for the users. So that's what I think, sir.
Yeah, exactly. Tonisha, do you have any answer to that?
No.
Do you have any contribution to that? Why software testing is important? Because developers and business analysts are humans? All right, Solomon, you just said it. Because they are humans, because they make mistakes, they're bound to make mistakes. That's why I have to test. That's why software testing is important. Why software testing? Because developers and business analysts are human, because they're bound to make mistakes. So um, wherever we are creating any kind of requirement with specifications, or the developers are developing the code, there are high chances that they will commit some errors, some mistakes, some defects, okay, in their code. So in SDLC, which you're going to understand, which I'm going to tell you in the course of the training, what SDLC is called Software Development Life Cycle. So in SDLC, the software testing is as important as a development phase. Those as developers are humans, business analysts are humans, the testing aspect as developers are developing are human as well. So liable to commit the mistakes. How to reduce those mistakes, how to reduce errors, bugs in the system, defect in the system, we will discuss that in the course of the training. So why software testing is important is because developers and business analysts that gather those requirements, they are humans, they're about to make mistakes. In this phase of maybe in the requirements, we want to develop an application, Bank of America or Bank of GT Bank on it. So instead of Bank America, in their requirement, they're giving to tech people, they're giving to make this mistake, say Bank of what? America. So you guys didn't catch those requirements. You guys just catch those, you guys just catch those defects in the system, the requirement. So defect can not only be from where you guys are developing the actual software. The defect and bug can come from the wrong requirement given by these people, the business analysts. The developers are developing those applications. That's the bank or Facebook application or Gmail application or Twitter or TikTok application. They're developing it. But actually, in their requirement that was given to you by the business people from that requirement gathering, they make a mistake. Any mistake, just made a mistake, is a bug. So the developer not catch this bug. You guys, the testers, the software QA analysts, you guys did not catch this bug. And you start developing this as Bank of America. And if a client log into that application, they see Bank of America, they'll be alarmed. Are we actually at the actual site, which is Bank of America? So it's a high bug. So you don't learn much about bug fixing, bug priorities, and all those stuff as a QA analyst in the course of the training. So they are humans. So they're bound to make mistakes. So your job description as a software tester, QA analyst, is to catch those defects. You're going to be in part of those meetings, okay, when a requirement is being gathered and you attend those meetings and sit one-on-one with the business people, right? So they are humans. All those, how to reduce those bugs, how to reduce those defects, you will learn that in the course of your training. So another thing about why software testing is important is because it is not an ideal world. Do you understand what that means? You want to say it's not an ideal world. I want you to be vocal. I want you to say, you have to discuss in this course, because that's going to be your job description. You have to be vocal. You have to be communication skills has to be there. You have to know how to analyze this for it to be a good software tester. So that's why I'm able to unmute you all so you can be able to talk. All right. So when I said it's an ideal world, what do I mean by it's not an ideal world that you have to test? is not an ideal world. What does that mean? So, but do you understand what I mean? It's not ideal.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. I ideal word. Can you hear me?
It's not an ideal world. Yeah.
It's not an ideal word. That's why. Okay. I think it means it's because this is the real world. We are in the real world. So just like what you said, that developers are bound to make mistakes. So knowing that this is a real world market, we are prone to errors. So ideal world is more like a fiction, something that in the cartoon world, let me use the word cartoon world, where things happen magically, right? But this is real world. We know that for some certain things to happen, some certain things have to happen because it is real world. So mistakes are there, but in the ideal world, mistakes are free. So it is a free bug world in the ideal world. But this is the real world where mistakes are bound up. So the developer, the software testers are needed.
Exactly. So when I say
I don't know if
second,
I'm
it's not an
making sense.
ideal world. Yeah, when I say it's not an ideal world, can you hear me? So when I say it's not an ideal world, meaning suppose we create a software now, and the developers
Yes.
who was working on it, okay, we create a software, and the developers who are working on it right through the development life cycle, right through the development cycle, on through the time he worked on Linux. Remember yesterday I told about Linux machine, you create your code on Linux machine and you run it on the Windows machine, and that's why Java is, that's what other thing. I'll tell you
Yes,
much
sir.
about that. That was a high level. But this one is another thing right now. Just for instance, now, for example, similarly, so that developer created an application, he was working on Linux machine all through the development cycle, all through the time he worked on Mac, he was working on Linux machine. Okay, without thinking that the end users will start using the particular software he built, the particular software the end users will start using this particular software more on Mac or Windows. He was working with it on Linux. Okay, you download it on Linux, maybe a software you download on Linux, it works on Linux very, very well. But not knowing that this software that you are building, end users, customers will start using more of it on Mac or Windows. So before he started the development, he made an assumption that the software should work only on Linux machine. Okay, all the specification, all the requirements that were gathered by the business people, business team, all the requirements they gather, all those things, everything is working perfectly on that Linux machine. But once the software is installed in the Windows, it crashes. That is why we say it is not an ideal world, meaning whatever assumption you made in the beginning is not always going to work. It's not an ideal world that you have to test. That's fine. A lot of things. Try different, because not here assumption, make others. This world is not an ideal world. It works for you
Yes.
here, but not of the other ones, the other applications. So you made this assumption in the beginning, it's not always going to work. That is why we need you. They need you as a software tester, software QA analyst, software quality assurance engineer, okay? In the team who is thinking out of the box. No, you there will say no. You sitting the business people, you're going to say no. I know people, numerous customers that they always use Windows. People use Windows 11, people use Windows, Mac, and all the Apple. Say, it's not everybody that uses Linux, but you see, they need somebody to talk in the team. So that's why they need you as a software tester, a software QA analyst, which assure the particular product, okay, to be taken out of the box. So there comes the importance of software testing as the software tester. You should always think out of the box. Don't just always rely on the document. Don't just rely on what the developers are telling you to test. Okay, just test only on Linux. No. I have to test it on what? On Mac, and also test it on Windows. So to be a very good software tester, you must be very good user. If you're a very good user of any application, because you use those applications also, you know how it behaves. So if you're a very good user of any application, you are going to test very thoroughly. All the use cases, all the scenarios will come to your mind on your own. Okay, that makes a very good tester. If you are taking that product as an end user, if you're using that product as an end user, you're able to test very well. You need to be satisfied about things. That's why they said it's not an ideal world. Another thing why we test is that why software testing is very important is customers are king. What does that mean? Customers are king. Another point is that customers are king. Customers are king. That is why each and every company is spending a lot of dollars on software testing professions. The market force of software testing professional is growing day by day because of the competition in the market. For what kind of products? We have McAfee, we have which other virus we have again? Just like for instance, we have Norton antivirus, you have McAfee, we have which other one do we have again? Norton antivirus, we have McAfee, we have which I have a lot of them. We have most of them. I'm mostly use McAfee though. So I know Norton virus. So just like that, even be it your social media. Okay. So for one kind of product, we have n numbers of application available for one kind of product. For just one, this software is for antivirus. That particular kind of product, we have n number of them in the market again. The same thing applies to your social media, be it your social media, be it your banking. Social media, what do you have on social media? We have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have which other? There are no number of them. TikTok is now there. You know, that's particular application that serve that particular purpose. We have a number of them in the market. Social media, banking, that serve to lodge your money, to give loans, do this, do that. Bank does a lot of things. They have a number of banks in the world. Be it microfinance, be it customer relationship management, be it healthcare. For one kind of requirement, we have at least 50 kinds of products available with you. So it's up to customers what they are going to use. And customers would like to use what is ease to use, which is user-friendly. And what is interest to use it. Example like a social media page. First, your Facebook, your Twitter, your TikTok, and all that. So now, why is it that two or more social media platforms are popular and some others are not popular? What is the reason behind it? Why is it that this social media platform is more popular and this one is not that popular? What is the reason behind it? Because of usability. User-friendly. Okay?
Yes, sir.
See, that's what one of those people go for it. And what to make software user-friendly? User-friendly means your application is easy to use. Okay, it's bug-free, it's defect-free. And all these, we are different kind of platform available. We are using social media on desktop, We are using social media on mobile phones, from our tablets. In mobile phones, we have Android, we have iPhone, so on. Each and every platform, if any application is working fine, then that we say is what is easy to use, that's user friendly. I hope I was
Yes,
able
sir.
to use this Android, and people can use that. Is I was able to use this Android phone seamlessly. There's no issue. I have to download this application on my phone. Very easy to use. That makes it very popular. User friendly. So under why you do software testing is diversify usage. Diversify usage. Diversify usage means we are using it in Android phone, Linux, Windows-based application, Mac, and we can see diversify usage means because people are using it all over the world. The world we say is a small village, no more a small world anymore. No more a small, it's a small village, no more a small world. So there are no kind of products which are created for any country specific these days. All the products which are there in the market is for everyone, for all around the world. I'm talking about general products. So who is going to think out of the box these days is the software testing people. You can see in the website, you can see download English, download Chinese, and all those stuff. So it's diversified usage. You don't think only a specific country that only can use the application. So you have to diversify. Right? You have
Yes,
any
sir.
question?
I'm cool. I'm clear, sir.
All right. So we have talked about what is software testing, and we give actual definition of what software testing is. And we talk about why do you have to do the software testing itself. Like I said, because of developers and business analysts are humans, and it's not an ideal world, and customers are king, diversify usage, and thereby. So now, how do we do the software testing? How we do the software testing? How software testing can happen? Now, you can do it either by manual testing, which you're going to start. I told you yesterday, you're going to start with manual testing. You don't need any technical intervention, right? We have to do it by manually. We have to be a database testing, automation testing, which I just give you a brief analysis of it yesterday in your Java class. We're going to talk about API testing, application programming interface. We talk about API testing, why do testing by API testing, testing different applications that is working fine. Talk about API testing. We're going to talk about performance testing. Okay, so these are how you can do your manual, how you can do your testing. So what is manual actually? What is actually manual testing? Let's start with manual testing itself. So if you know about manual testing is the most important part of any kind of testing you can do. Manual testing is making sure your application is working fine by working on it manually. We are not doing any kind of automation, this automation here, writing on test script, doing Java on the Snow. We're not doing all those things. So we're not doing any kind of automation right now. No database query, not doing SQL or select from this and that and all this. No. Okay, so that's what manual testing. So why doing this manual testing? We need to work on our end users. We discuss a lot of things why software testing is important. So that's why you need to work on end users. Okay, work how your end user going to behave with the application, what they need, all those. So you need to work more on your end users. So because why checking anything as a manual tester, you behave like an end user. Okay, you behave like an end user. So those are going to use the actual application you guys are going to build. So why behaving like an end user? Many ideas will come to your mind, which are not there in the requirement that the business people give to you, in the requirements you have built, which are not there in the requirement document. So as a manual tester, you will do a lot of end users things, like you are going to do so many stupid stuffs. Suppose I'm to log into any application, but by mistake, I have deleted that application. but it was not intended for me to delete. But when I was clearing the cache, you know what cache is, right? Your histories, your cache, your cookies, and all those things. All the
Yes, sir.
useless application for my mobile phones, I also end up deleting that application. So this is out. So this out of the box will come to your mind. It come to you when you will be doing the manual testing. So how will the application behave now since it has been deleted and most photos are gone? How is it going to behave if I install the application? How is it going to behave if I'm logging in using desktop? Suppose suppose I want to use it as any localized language. I don't want to use it as my default English language. Each and every application these days comes with localization, right? As I told you, you can see download in English, China, Germany, Dutch, right? So the meaning of location is it will support your local language as well. How is it going to behave in a localized manner? All these things we get to know when you are doing your manual testing. Okay, there's no technical intervention. You act as an end user. Like for instance, I'm shopping online. Okay, you are shopping on maybe your eBay or your Amazon, and I have a one battery power low remaining in my mobile phone. And I'm shopping on this Amazon website, about to make payment of some dollars from Amazon. And my battery is going to die. Okay, they're going to power off. So what Amazon application do is that what can it do actually? It can read from my device. But that application, Amazon application can read from a device that my mobile battery device is about to die. Please put it in charger before making payment. So all these kind of ideas will come to your mind when you be doing your manual testing. So what you need to have in the back of mind is that manual testing is all about thinking out of the box. You want to log into your application, your text box, your Google Mail or any application. You want to log into your application, something like your text box, username, username, and you can see this one is your your password, right? So now this one, for the requirement, they said this should accept only 15 characters or 10 characters. Okay, the password should accept only 10 characters also. So you can ask them, for some users, they want to use other rates at, okay, in their password. It will be allowed. And to create username, will they use other rates too to create the username? Like your, they use an email to create their username, or is not allowed? You get some text box to say only username show, but maybe a username also, you say email. Is it accepted? So all those things, you say, well, some people have email address. They can also use their email address to sign in into the application. You see, so all those things become when you are doing your manual testing and writing your test scripts. Okay. So
Yes,
manual testing, of course, is a building block of automation testing as well. Automation testing is basically what you want to test again. Like automation is you want to test this again and again. Instead of you testing this and logging in, just automate it. I'm going to tell you about that when you write your test script. You use an automation testing, which you use as automation script. So it's what you need to test again as automation. Automation testing means what every task you are giving, you don't want to repeat it again. So you just want to automate it. I don't want to log in this username and password again and again. So just write automation script, they're able to log in this automatically and move into the next point. That's automation. Okay. So in all these kind of testing, be it manual testing, be it database testing, automation testing, API testing, performance testing, they are not competitors of each other. They are not competitors of each other. They basically complete They complete each other. Okay? They are not competitors. They are not competitors of each other. They actually complete each other, right? What I mean by that? We need to understand the database testing as well, the automation testing, API testing as well, performance testing as well, which is the most important part of what? So all these things, they complete each other, they don't compete each other. You need to understand manual testing, database testing, automation testing, API testing, performance testing, manual testing, which is the most important part of testing. All these types of testing are important as the other. They are all important as the other. You cannot choose one above each other. That's the manual testing is important. No, I can't tell you because we are doing a manual testing class right now. Say, okay, just focus on manual testing. Yeah, I mean, that's the only one that's going to get you, those all those things. All these type of testing are what complete each other. Right? They do not compete each other. They complement each other. So testing itself is a full stack. Testing itself is a full stack profile. Just like we have, I don't know if you know something like UI developers. If I read about what the UI developers.
Yeah, I know about them, sir.
Yes, you have the front-end developers. Just like we have the UI developers, we have the front-end developers, we have the back-end developers. Okay, we have the database. Yeah, we have the database developers. Similarly, we have manual testing guys. Okay, we have manual testing guys. We have database testing guys. We have automation testing guys. We have API testing guys. We have performance testing guys. So, and you need to be good in all these testing to be a good QA member, quality assurance engineer, to be a QA member of the team, that is quality analyst. Any doubts, any question on this?
You made mention of.
You said what?
Yeah, you said manual testing is the most important in all of them.
No, it's a building block of everything.
Okay.
Manual and automation testing as well, which is the most important part of testing properly. Okay, so this manual testing, automation testing, okay, is a building block. So you need to know all these things to be a full stack profile. QA is a full stack profile itself. You need to know a fair bit of all these things, okay, for it to be a full stack QA. Okay, but start with manual testing, then automation testing, move to all this things, but you need to know a fair bit of all this for it to be a full stack. Okay, testing says the full stack profile. Okay, so that's one. All those things you need to know. So I can't say this. You should not focus on this and that. No, it should know fair bit of all these things. But testing to be a full stack profile. Okay, for it to be a full stack, you need to know about manual testing or measure testing, API testing, or just fair bit of. But this is building block for all. Okay, because anything that comes to you to the testing manual before it's automated. How can you start automated? You have to do manual testing. So you need to know few of all these things.
All right, so
what's going to be your career path in testing? What's going to be your career, your career? What's going to be your career path as a tester? What you can do as a software testing in an IT industry, what you can become. You can become one, test architecture, project manager, automation experts, performance experts, QA or QC experts. Okay, so you look at this phase in life as you are going through your pathway of success. Now you can see when you are starting your career, maybe you are less than 2 years of experience. Then you are a junior tester. You can see the screen right here.
Yes, sir.
All right. You are a junior tester. When you are starting your career path, maybe you are less than 2 years of experience, then you are a junior tester. At that point of time, you need to learn each and every, whatever I just told you today. You need to learn each and every, whatever I told you today: manual testing, automation testing, database testing, API testing, performance testing. So when you are going to the point of being a test analyst, you need to know a bit of all these things. Manual, automation, API, you need to know a bit of all these things. You need to be a test analyst. So what's manual testing, automation testing, and so forth? So you need to have idea for all these things. How to do performance testing, API testing, database testing, and etc. Okay, you need to know all these things. Then at around 5 years or 6 years, people generally become QA leads of any particular testing, any type of testing, any type of particular testing. Maybe you are the QA lead of manual testing, because you are expert in manual testing. Any application you are giving, you are able to think about what kind of manual testing can happen on this application, and what is the requirement, and what actually the end users are having all these ideas, and able to help your team. At that point, you will become a QA lead. So being a QA lead of a manual testing, that means I should know only manual testing. It doesn't happen in it doesn't happen in industry like that these days. You should know about automation testing. Also, you should also have idea of performance testing and API testing as well. In a QA lead of manual testing, you should have a fair bit of all knowledge of all these things. Like in today's world, when the competition in each and every field is so high for the QA members, manual testing and automation testing is the minimum requirement. You should know about manual testing completely, automation testing also, and you should have a fair bit of ideas in other domains as well, the API and the database also. And you should be expert in any or two of this, because we say manual automation are minimum requirement. Then you should basically people become test architecture. So now, basically, what test architecture does, you can see test architecture. What does test architecture do? What's the role of forget about test architecture. What's the role of a architecture? Architect. The design, right? The architectural design. Now, basically, what architecture does, they are the people that create the framework. You understand what the framework is? Okay, like say any new requirement is coming, you are to create a framework right from the scratch. So framework is not only for automation testing. You can create a framework from overall design. In automation testing, what we call framework is hybrid framework, data-driven framework. Okay, so but framework is to create an overall design. We can create framework from automation testing also in API testing as well. So by doing manual testing, you can create test plan. Okay, test plan. All these things, understand that in the course of the study. So you create test plan, requirement designated matrix, requirements designated matrix. All this we can create while doing manual testing. These are the responsibility of a test architecture. And if you will believe me, these are the project managers, these performance experts, okay, QC and all those things. These are highly paid job in the industry these days.
Wow.
They're highly paid. If you have fair bit of all these things, if you have expertise in all these things, 6 years down the line, you'll be in a well, highly paid job. I can guarantee you that. You'll be in any part of the world. You can be in Nigeria, you can be in Sudan, you can be, if you submit your CVs and all those things, software is needed everywhere, part of the world. I know people, guys that are in Nigeria that moved to Canada now. The job found them in Nigeria, they moved them to Canada. They do interviews in Nigeria and they fight for them for work authorization there in Canada. They move to Canada. Software is everywhere. They need people to have these skills.
Wow.
Anywhere you are in Nigeria, you can get a job in Dubai. They fight for you to work as a work authorization. From there, you'll have to have a residence there in that country. I know someone that is right now is in Australia. It's a job, an IT job I took into Australia. My friend's uncle, whereby we were in high school that time, he got a job in Canada. Canada, you know, he's a IT guy. He's in Canada. They fight for me for Canada. So I look at people. They said, "Oh, jobs. I know this in Nigeria. There is hardship in Nigeria." No, hardship in the world. And so when you have expertise in skills in different tech industry, you get a job any part of the world. And move you. They come with plead, begging for you to come over because they have people. Let's have people that have those skills toward those jobs. So we have expertise in this thing, we'll be in a highly paid job. I guarantee you that. So because QA people these days, testing people these days are getting paid as much as the developers. Because as the competition in the markets these days for the application which are available, we need expertise, QA these days. So the career path of the QA people are as development people. In some sense, it is better than development people because from the QA people, if you have good communication skills, to talk in the class, analyze things in the class, talk and all those things. So if you have good communication skills, analytical skills, you can think about the end user very well. You can easily become project manager.
Okay.
Because the basic requirement to become a project manager is understanding your end user. And if you are handling a project and understanding what this project is going to do and who are its end users. So being a QA member makes you a very good domain to become a project manager for any particular project.
Okay.
So that's one thing about if you be a project manager. That's what the roles and responsibility of a project manager, the JDs of project manager. Because you think how the end users behave with that particular project. So talk about the automation expert. We have different automation tools available, which in the course of the study, if you want that, you can ping me. For those interested in how to be automation engineer, have to in the Java class I told you about. We talk about automation and all those stuff like that. You know what automation is. There's a tools you need to do. We used to do automation is popular in the market. We call Selenium, which is more vast. It's language binding. If you know Python, you don't need to learn Java before you can do Selenium. If you're coming from a Java background, you don't need to learn Python before you can use that particular tool called Selenium. Selenium is a language binding. You can use to automate a particular application. So that is what is the role of an automation expert. So automation experts are highly in demand these days, as much as the project manager and other architects and so forth. So actually, the profiles of automation and test architecture are very much related to each other because both of them create framework and build for your project. So also performance expert also, you can see this performance expert. Performance expert, performance testing talking about the tools of, you talk about the tools used in performance testing, called the JMeter, Blaze, and so forth like that. We have also different types of performance tools which are available. So what performance testing basically does is that if we have very large number of users, like an application, you know, Facebook is an application, or one application that you know that numerous of people are going to hit that API, are going to hit that particular URL. Okay, so you need to do performance testing of that particular application, or else it will crash. Okay, so you need to do performance testing of that particular. So performance testing, how that application going to behave when user going to troop in, when there's going to be large traffic on that website. You can see some website is slow, slows down. We don't dance in the code. It slows down because a lot of traffic. So you have to do performance testing. So if that application, it just few people are going to use that application, then you don't need performance testing. You'll say that that's what the role of what we mean by performance testing. You have to do performance testing of it. And there's a tool they use in doing that, which is called Blaze or JMeter, which is popular and it's an open source. So if that website is going to be, how that website is going to behave, how your mobile application is going to behave. So these are the kinds of things performance testing experts usually do. Again, this is very popular profile right now in the software testing. There are a lot of people that wants to become performance expert, but before you become performance expert, you should know all areas of manual testing, which you are learning today. Testing, because is the building block of all these things. Also, people ask, what is QA and QC? Quality assurance and quality check expert. What is the difference? It seems alike, but the similarities is there. QA, quality assurance, and QC, quality check, these are different things. Quality assurance comes at each and every phase of the software development life cycle. You know, quality assurance people, they meet the business people, they discuss, they look at the requirement gathering, the requirement and everything, and if there is bug, then all these things. So quality assurance means making sure that each and every phase of software development life cycle, right things are happening from the phase, right phase. What we mean by right thing? In quality assurance, in each and every phase, we do certain kind of testing. We don't have to wait before the product is created. Okay, at that phase, we do kind of testing from the client. I'm gathering the information, like I told you, from Bank of America to Baker of America or GT Bake, okay, or Union Bake. It's the wrong gathering, requirement gathering from because of a spelling mistake. So as a QA member, I will sit with the business analyst guys and I will make sure whatever requirement is coming to me, that itself is correct. Maybe client is not able to think from the perspective what the quality assurance people can think of. Similarly, while creating that document, I'm going to help the business people to make sure they are getting the right kind of documents. Look at, you made a spelling mistake here. We can start developing this thing, we develop a wrong application from you. So, and of course, if the testing phase, we do the actual testing. So quality assurance people becomes a part of the what, the SDLC, which I'm going to tell you the course of the program. So software development life cycle, as soon as the meeting with the client is scheduled, we start testing, looking at those requirements. So QA people these days are very, very important. They start thinking like an end user right from the scratch. As soon as the idea of the product comes to mind, what the QA expert is going to do, my QA expert is going to do these things. Is your product feasible enough to handle these kind of things? Then only create it, a product, or if it's not going to handle, otherwise don't create. So it will help in saving a cost initial phase. In the initial phase, the quality assurance people is going to tell me customers are going to think this particular way for this product. You should design properly. If you can't design, dump this project. So QA testing will save my company cost effective in the first phase itself. You see that's why they need it. I have not spent a penny on the business analyst people or the development people. So it's a huge savings for my company. So it's why the company is more QA analyst. Okay. QC expert, quality check, quality control, whatever it is. during the testing phase, what kind of testing is happening? If customer requires that they are going to log in into the system, 100 users at the time, if that will be possible or not. If I'm doing the testing, I'm not in the correct platform. These are the roles of a QC expert. Okay. So QC and QA are two different kinds of things. Both of these things are very, very important. Like you can become that as well in your career path as a software testing. When you are starting your career up to 5 years to 6 years, all you have to focus on is keeping on learning, you keep on learning so you can improve and learning kinds of testing. So I'm not saying you should learn automation and manual testing alone, but you should also learn other things, so you can build up your prospects in your career path. So what are those difference between the development and testing? Okay. So your career path, you learn that the difference between development people and testing people is the testing people, while looking at the software, you just have to think how you can break it. That's what about the testing people. You look at that software, that application, how am I going to break it? Breaking is that they want to find bugs before this thing goes into the market. I'll use that because users are using it and find these things, and it has a big loss to the company. So what your own job description is, so how you're going to break this thing. You think you do a lot of scientific testing, do a lot of hardware tests. You won't learn that in the course of your training. So that is only requirement from your side to be a very good software tester. You should think when this software is going to break. Suppose the developer said in this text box, for instance, maybe they say in this text box, like your text, okay? In this text box, the developer say in this text box, in this text windows, 2 plus 2, maybe they say 2 plus 2 is equals to what? 4, right? For the requirement. Yeah. Say they built it that this text box should have, when you type in 2 plus 2, to give you 4. Okay, that's for the requirement that developer builds that with everything. So you should come out as this should come out as 4. So that is only thing that is mentioned in the requirements, all right? What is mentioned in the requirements from the business people, all right? So now, you as a tester, you want to break it. You say, okay, as a tester, as a software tester, I will tell you many things to test this particular simple text box, right? But if I say 2 plus 2, alphabet and numeric numbers, 2 plus 2, what should that give me? 2. You see, you are doing a lot of crazy. You see, because user can type in this, isn't the same thing? You say 2 plus 2 should give you 4. What if I say 2? Is it not 2 alphabetic? So all those things, you'll be testing all those kinds of things. You can also say 2. What if I put 2 plus 2, 2? What will that give me? So you're doing a lot of permutation and combination. So how my software will behave if I say 2 plus 2 numeric and alphabetic numbers. Okay, so you do a lot of things. So developer job description is just to develop that particular software as per the requirement given by him. But you have to break it to find bugs. So those are going to be your job description in the software industry. So how do we go to succeed? How can you succeed in this field of study, in this field, in the career path? How do you students yourself? That's why you class need to ask questions. If you don't understand, don't take your doubts home. Okay, how do you succeed in the software industry? Number one is that you have to have what? See, the programmer and the tester. Say there are so many different different parts to achieve the same goal of providing quality to the client. So how can I break it? You see that? And he said, I can make it. He's building it, but you are trying to break it so to find bugs. So those are the difference between tester and the developer. So what was the concept of your career path? Sorry, before I go into that, I will talk about the curriculum. So in the curriculum, you learn about manual testing completely. API testing completely. Database testing, SQL is required. We do MySQL. Automation testing, basics of automation testing in Selenium. You should learn a fair bit about that. Then Agile methodology. Agile is what is involved in the requirement. Agile using different tools and the Jira tools, all those stuff like that. Jira, Bugzilla, how to use Jira, and Postman, and Selenium. These are the tools we're using. So, and again, that is what in the course curriculum. And what is required from you as a software tester? You have to have passion for it. If you don't have passion for it, just forget about the course, just go and sleep. Passion drives you, the driving force. If you have passion for it, you go far. If you have passion for it, you want to learn, you know, what to be in the class, what to ask questions, how to take assignment, so you can get a job, you know, get things going. So that will be your passion. If you don't have passion for it, don't worry about it. So another thing is, again, you must do what? You must have your attitude towards it. Communication skills have to be there. Analytical skills has to be there. If you don't have all these things, you can't be a good software tester. Okay? So that is it for today. If you have any question, let me know before I end the class. Just you.
I'm cool. Since I'm
All
just
right.
getting started, I'm enjoying it. Yes, sir.
All right. Be sending the videos and take note and watch again and decide what you want to do. If you want to go, you know, in the course, then you ping them in the chat box in platform and you let them know what days you want your class and all those stuff like that.
Sorry, I didn't get you, sir.
I see you ping them on the chat box there on the the WhatsApp group there, and
There's a WhatsApp group created.
yeah, the WhatsApp group. That's what they added to the WhatsApp group there.
I haven't been added, sir.
Yeah, I think